Hello students. So in my today's lecture we are going to discuss about Fourier transform. So this is my first lecture for Fourier transform. Before starting Fourier transform I will be discussing some definition or basics of transform. So first of all I start with integral transform. So students, integral transform is a mathematical device through which we can solve many boundary value problems of engineering, like conduction of heat, transverse vibration of string, elastic beam, oscillations in elastic beam, forced vibration, and many more. So transform is a tool by which we can transform our data from one domain to another domain, students. And before that, Laplace transform is there, one of the transform which is very useful for solving differential equations. So here in this lecture we are going to discuss about Fourier transform. So Fourier transform is a tool, students, which transforms data from time domain to frequency domain. It transforms data from time domain to frequency domain, students, and it is used for solving or for the solution of partial differential equation. As I told you that Laplace is used for solving differential equations. So why Fourier transform, it is used for solving partial differential equations, students. So now before starting or before giving you the definition of Fourier transform, I'll discuss about integral transform. What do you mean by integral transform? So integral transform f lambda, here I have defined integral transform by f lambda of a function fx. It is defined by the equation I of fx, that is integral transform of function fx. I have defined it by or denoted it by f lambda. So I of fx and f lambda means nothing but integral transform of a function fx, and its definition is, suppose I am finding that transform between interval a to b. So integration a to b f of x k lambda comma x dx. So this k lambda x is what, students? It is known as function of lambda and x, and it is called kernel of the transform. And by this kernel of the transform we may define many transformations. So here I have defined 3 transformations which depends on the value of this kernel of the transform. And lambda is what here? Lambda is a parameter of transformation, students. So lambda is called parameter of transform, and fx is, and so lambda, whenever I am transforming one data or one variable from time domain to frequency domain, students. So in time domain, if I have taken my variable as x, so once it will be transformed into frequency domain, compulsorily that variable will be changed. So here in frequency domain I have taken my parameter as lambda. So lambda will be treated as variable parameter in frequency domain. And also, since I have taken function fx and I have defined its transform as f lambda, then if we talk in reverse way, so fx is called what? Inverse transform of f lambda. Fx is called what? In reverse way I am telling you, students. So if f lambda is the transform of function fx, then in reverse way fx is called the inverse transform of f lambda. Now as I told you that on the basis of this kernel of kernel k lambda x, we can define many transforms. So here I have taken 3 transform, definition of 3 transform. So see, students, whenever kernel lambda x, k lambda x, its value is e to the power minus lambda x, then it leads to the Laplace transform of function fx. And the definition of Laplace transform is f lambda is equal to 0 to infinity f of x e to the power minus lambda x dx. Now students, since we are studying Fourier transform, so I'll focus on Fourier transform definition. So whenever this kernel k lambda x, it is e to the power I lambda x. Remember, students, I, that means iota is there in the definition. So k lambda x is equal to e raised to I lambda x. Then we have Fourier transform of f of x, and this is defined as f lambda is equal to, I have defined this Fourier transform in the full interval. So it is minus infinity to plus infinity f of x e to the power I lambda x dx. So e to the power I lambda x dx, students. And when sorry, k lambda x is equal to x to the power lambda minus 1, then it leads to Mellin transformation of function fx. So Mellin transformation is also one of the transformation that is used in solution of engineering problems. So definition of Mellin transform is, it is denoted by a capital M lambda. It is again defined for the interval 0 to infinity fx. In place of this k lambda x, I have put it x to the power n minus 1 dx. So students, on the basis of kernel, we have defined 3 transformations here, out of which we have to focus on Fourier transform. Now, Fourier transform. So students, here I have defined Fourier transform. The Fourier transform of a function fx in the interval minus infinity to plus infinity. Students, before Fourier transform, if we go to the fundamentals of Fourier, so we have Fourier series, and that series we have defined in the full interval minus infinity to plus infinity for periodic functions. So students, here transformation also we define in full interval minus infinity to plus infinity for a function fx. So that transformation is denoted by what? F lambda. Throughout the unit, I will denote it by F lambda. So F lambda is called the Fourier transform of function fx in the interval minus infinity to plus infinity, and its definition is minus infinity to plus infinity f of x e to the power I lambda x dx. So this is Fourier transform of function f of x. So once we have to find f lambda for a function fx, then what we need to do, we need to solve this integration into integration, students, and then we will get our answer in terms of lambda, because f lambda is what? Fourier transform of function fx. So we'll get, after solving this integration, we will get our answer in terms of lambda. Remember one thing, students, since this is transformation, so integration will be, so variable of integration will be x. In the definition, see this thing, it is with respect to x. Or I can define f lambda in another way. It is f lambda is equal to same integration minus infinity to plus infinity f of u e to the power I lambda u du. So students, what is the difference between this definition and this definition? That is nothing but I have changed the variable of integration. So here I have taken fx, here I am finding same thing. I am finding Fourier transform of f of x, but here what I have taken, by variable changing property, I can take in place of x, I have taken u. So I can define Fourier transform of fx by this definition also. It is minus infinity to plus infinity f of u e to the power I lambda u du. So दोनों में से कोई भी definition we are going to use for the solution of the numericals. Now, what about inverse Fourier transform? So here, students, also I have defined inverse Fourier transform. As I told you, if f lambda is the Fourier transform of function fx, see here, students, if f lambda is the Fourier transform of function fx, then fx is called inverse Fourier transform of f lambda in the reverse way. So here also fx is called inverse Fourier transform of f lambda, and it is defined by, its definition is fx is equal to 1 upon 2 pi integration minus infinity to plus infinity f lambda e to the power minus I lambda x d lambda. So students, you see the difference between both the definition, and concentrate on variable of integration. Once we are finding, listen this thing very carefully, students, these 2 points are very important while solving integration. Once we are finding transform of a function, we will be doing our integration with respect to x or with respect to u, whatever the variable we have taken. And once we are finding inverse transform, that means fx, then our variable of integration will be lambda, since I have taken lambda as my variable parameter in the frequency domain. So inverse transform is always fine with respect to this variable parameter lambda, and Transform we always find with respect, integration will be always done with respect to integration of variable of integration x or u, whatever you have taken in your definition. Another thing, students, that here we have Fourier transform and I have defined it in full interval. But while solving numericals, suppose I have given you some function fx and I am asking you to find its Fourier transform. So you will use this definition in the full interval minus infinity to plus infinity, students, for finding f lambda for the function fx. But if you will judge whether your fx is even function or odd function, then we have some more transformation based on the concept of even and odd function, students. So it is not compulsory that we will always apply this definition for the solution, because if our function is even function and odd function, we have some more transformations. So these, as in the Fourier series you have sine series and cosine series, so in the same way we have Fourier sine and cosine transforms also. So before discussing more about transformation, I'll give you the definition of these two transformations also, and then we will discuss how to solve numericals. So Fourier sine and cosine transform, students. So what do we mean by Fourier sine and cosine transform? See the definition. Fourier sine transform of a function fx in the interval 0 to infinity. It is defined by fs lambda, students. As for function fx, I have defined basic Fourier transform by f lambda. Here I am defining Fourier sine transform. So for that I have taken my notation as fs lambda. S is in the suffix. And its definition is 0 to infinity. I have defined Fourier sine transform in half interval 0 to infinity. Remember one thing, students, sine and cosine transform we always define in the half interval 0 to infinity, Fourier sine and cosine transform. Now its definition is 0 to infinity fx sine lambda x dx. And if I define its inverse transform fx, so fx is 2 upon pi 0 to infinity fs lambda sine lambda x d lambda. Remember one thing, students, transform निकाल रहे हैं तो function integration will be for function, and once we are finding function then integration के अंदर integrand मेरा क्या रहेगा, transform. And here variable of integration is x, and here variable of integration is what, lambda. So this is sine transform and this is inverse sine transform, students. This is called inverse sine transform, IST. So in the same way I can define cosine also. So what will be the change in cosine? In place of this sine lambda x, we will be taking cos lambda x dx, d lambda. So students, definition of cosine transform is fc lambda is equal to 0 to infinity fx cos lambda x dx. And in its inverse transform will be fx is equal to 2 upon pi 0 to infinity fc lambda cos lambda x d lambda. So again, students, variable of integration is, in the definition of transform it is x, or in the definition of inverse transform it is what, lambda. So these are the definitions of Fourier sine and cosine transform, students. So till now we have defined Fourier transform, students, and Fourier sine and cosine transform. So you see there are three basic definition of transforms: Fourier sine and Fourier cosine, and their inverse transforms. So students, for better understanding of all these definitions, we are going to prepare a table of them. So in this table you will understand that whole concept of Fourier will be based depending on 5 formulae. So out of which 3 formulas are main formula and remaining 2 are same for Fourier sine transform and Fourier cosine transform. So students, see this table. In this table I will elaborate all the formulas of transform. So first of all I have taken name of the transform, interval in which this define, Fourier transform and its inverse Fourier transform. So Fourier transform For that we have function f of x, and inverse Fourier transform for that, I mean whenever we are my Fourier transform for what we are finding, it is for f of x, and inverse Fourier transform of what we are finding, of f lambda we are finding. So Fourier transform, say what we are going to find, we will be finding f lambda here, and we will be finding small fx here, students. So name of the transform first. So first transform is basic Fourier transform, students. Fourier transform. I have defined that transform in the interval minus infinity to plus infinity, students. What is Fourier transform of function fx? It is f lambda, and its definition is minus infinity to plus infinity f of u e to the power I lambda u du. That was the definition of Fourier transform, and its inverse transform is, the students, it is fx is equal to 1 upon 2 pi integration minus infinity to plus infinity f lambda e to the power minus I lambda x d lambda. So variable of integration is what? Here variable of integration is u or x. Maybe I can also define this definition in terms of fx e to the power I lambda x dx, and here in case of inverse, our variable of integration is what, students? Lambda. Now the second thing is Fourier sine transform, students. Fourier sine transform, again in the interval minus infinity to plus infinity. Now you can tell me, we have defined Fourier sine transform previously for the interval 0 to infinity. Now how you can define it for minus infinity to plus infinity, students? So I told you, whenever our function f of x, I'll be writing it, when fx is odd function. See, I have given you fx and I am asking you to find its Fourier transform, and the question is in the interval minus infinity to plus infinity, students. Listen what I am telling you. I have given you the function fx and I am asking you to find its Fourier transform in the interval minus infinity to plus infinity. Then the first step, you will check that function is, whether function is even function or odd function. Accordingly, you can convert your question from full range to half range, because if it is odd function, you will be finding Fourier sine transform for the function, or if it is even function, you will be finding Fourier cosine transform for the function. So once it is odd function, so I'll be finding Fourier sine transform for the function, and sine transform's definition will be 0 to infinity f of u sine lambda u du, and its inverse transform f of x is what? 2 upon pi 0 to infinity fs lambda sine lambda x d lambda, students. And in the same way, I will be defining third transform. It is Fourier, again Fourier cosine transform, students, cosine. But the condition for this transformation is when fx is even function. So when fx is even function, for the same interval question will be given to you. You will have to judge whether your function is even or odd, and accordingly you will be finding, if it is even function, you will be finding cosine transform for that. So 0 to infinity f of u cos lambda u du, and its inverse transform, how we define its inverse transform? For inverse cosine transform, which is called, it is 2 upon pi 0 to infinity fc lambda cos lambda x d lambda. So this is the way of finding its cosine, inverse cosine transform. So Fourier cosine transform and inverse Fourier cosine transform. Now the fourth thing is, students, fourth transform is again what? Fourier sine transform. Fourier sine transform, and it is for the interval 0 to infinity. It is defined for half interval. So once in the numerical it is mentioned that find Fourier, listen this thing very carefully, students. Once in the numerical it is mentioned that find Fourier sine transform for the given function fx, then without thinking of anything like whether your function is even or odd, you will have to go for this definition. It is fs lambda. Same definition will be applicable, 0 to infinity f of u sine lambda u du, and its inverse is same. It is 2 upon pi 0 to infinity fs lambda sine lambda x d lambda. And once it is mentioned in the numerical that find Fourier cosine transform. So for that also you don't need to think about even and oddness of the function. They are mentioning that you have to find Fourier cosine transform, then automatically you will have to go for half interval 0 to infinity, and its definition is same. Fc lambda is equal to 0 to infinity f of u cos lambda u du, and fx is its inverse transform. How we will be finding its inverse transform? By the same definition, 2 upon pi 0 to infinity fc lambda cos lambda x d lambda, students. So I hope the concept will be clear to you by these definitions or by this table. Students, remember one thing, I am repeating again. In the numerical it will be mentioned that find Fourier transform of the given function fx. If it is mentioned in the numerical, then we can solve it by the basic definition in the full interval also, or you can convert your question into sine and cosine transform by judging whether function is even function or odd function. So if you will judge your function, if it is even function you can go for cosine transform, if it is odd function you can go for sine transform, and if it is neither even nor odd function, then you have no choice, you will have to solve it in the full interval, students. And why we will go for sine and cosine? Because calculation in terms of sine and cosine is much easier than in full interval. So we will be solving by the way of judging even or oddness. First numerical I will solve by both the method, students, but rest of the numericals I will judge my function first whether it is even and odd, and then accordingly I will apply cosine and sine transform. And now what about these rest of two for transforms? Again they are Fourier sine and cosine, but it is defined in the half interval. So students, whenever it is mentioned in the numerical that for the given function fx, suppose मैंने function आपको दे दिया fx is sin x, and I am asking you to find cosine transform for sin x, then you have to apply this definition directly. Then you don't need to judge whether cos x is even function or odd function. No, because I am asking you to find cosine transform, then my concern is only for half interval or half range. So 0 to infinity pe we will directly apply these two definitions if they are asking for finding Fourier cosine and Fourier sine. But they are asking for Fourier transform. In that case we have choice to judge the function according to the evenness or oddness of the function. And so these are the definition of all the transforms and accordingly their inverse transform. So students, here in this unit we are going to discuss three types of questions. Type 1 will be based on for numericals or problems on Fourier transform. So for Fourier transform I am going to use this column, because and basically there are only three definitions: how to find Fourier transform of fx, Fourier sine transform of fx, and Fourier cosine transform of fx. And another type of problems will be problems on inverse Fourier transform. So in case of inverse Fourier transform, students, we are going to use this table for the solution of the numerical. So students, now we will be moving for the numericals. So here I have taken all three types. So we will be solving type 1 problems which will be based on Fourier transform, type 2 problems on inverse Fourier transform, type 3 problems on Fourier integral representation, which is also an important type, and you will be getting numericals out of it, any of this topic in Fourier. So now I am taking type 1 first. Type 1 is problems on Fourier transform, students. So here I have taken some numericals. I have written those numericals here. I will be solving one by one them. So first numerical is, students, find Fourier transform of fx is equal to e to the power minus modulus x. Very important question. And for all values of x, I am telling you to find this Fourier transform. So I am taking this numerical first, student. Find Fourier transform of fx is equal to e to the power minus modulus x. To see the solution of this numerical, find 1. Find Fourier transform of fx is equal to e to the power minus modulus x for all the values of x, students. So here, since it is for all the values of x, that means we know that the interval of the integration is full interval, or it is in full range. So we know the definition of Fourier transform, students. It is what we know, that Fourier transform of f of x in full interval is what? F lambda. I am solving it first method, in which I am going to solve it in full interval. That means by using first basic definition. So it is minus infinity to plus infinity f of u e to the power I lambda u du. So this is the definition of Fourier transform, students. Now f lambda we need to find, and it will be a function of lambda. Answer will be a function of f lambda. ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन निकाल रहे हैं किसका? फंक्शन एफ एक्स का. तो ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन में आपका जब x ट्रांसफॉर्म होता है फ्रीक्वेंसी डोमेन में और आपका वेरिएबल पैरामीटर हो जाता है लैम्डा, सो आंसर विल बी एफ लैम्डा ही निकाल रहे हैं, तो इट्स आंसर विल बी अ फंक्शन ऑफ लैम्डा. दैट मीन्स इसका इंटीग्रेशन का सॉल्यूशन विल बी अ फंक्शन ऑफ लैम्डा, स्टूडेंट्स. सो इट इज़ माइनस इन्फिनिटी टू प्लस इन्फिनिटी एफ ऑफ यू. So what will be f of u, students? fx is given us. It is e to the power minus modulus x. So since fx is what? E raised to minus modulus x, then f of u. Therefore f of u will be what, students? E to the power minus modulus u. So I am putting here e raised to minus modulus u e to the power I lambda u du. I have to solve this integration, students, and its solution will be what? Let's see. So here f lambda will be minus infinity to plus infinity. Now how to solve this integration, student? So I am going to solve it by using de Moivre's theorem. So it is e raised to minus modulus u, and e to the power I lambda u may be expanded by using e to the power I theta rule, students. And what is e raised to I theta rule, students? By de Moivre's, e raised to I theta is cos theta plus I sin theta. I hope you remember this rule. It is cos theta plus I sin theta. So e to the power I theta, what is working like theta here? Lambda u. So I can write it as cos lambda u plus I sin lambda u du. Now separate the integrations. So students, this integration, after expanding the integration, we will be having minus infinity to plus infinity e raised to minus modulus u cos lambda u du is one of the integration, cos lambda u du, and another integration will be what? Plus I am taking outside, minus infinity to plus infinity e raised to minus modulus u sin lambda u, students. So these two integrations we will be getting. Now students, how to your integration was single integration. After applying de Moivre's, it is breaked into two parts. So we have two integrations to solve now. How we will be solving both the integrations, students? सो आई थिंक यू रिमेंबर वन प्रॉपर्टी. आप जैसे इंटीग्रेशन को देख रहे होंगे आपके दिमाग में एक प्रॉपर्टी आ रही होगी. देयर इज़ अ प्रॉपर्टी ऑफ इंटीग्रेशन दैट माइनस ए टू ए एफ एक्स डी एक्स. इंटीग्रेशन माइनस ए टू ए एफ एक्स डी एक्स. इट इज़ वॉट स्टूडेंट्स? इट इज़ 2 into 0 to a एफ एक्स डी एक्स when function fx is what? Fx is even. Is even. And this value of same integration is 0 when fx is odd. I hope you remember this property. Or if you don't remember, then see this property in intermediate books. You will get this property of integration. So since we have this property of integration, so we will be using this property for the solution of both the integration. So students, why am I applying this? Because our limit of integration is minus a to plus a in the property, and here it is minus infinity to plus infinity. We can apply this rule. But when this rule will be applicable for the integration, if our function is even, integration will be 2 into 0 to fx dx, but function is odd, integration will be 0. So see students, we have two integrations here, e to the power minus modulus u. Students, this function will be even function. What is even function? Definition of even function, students. So I'll be giving this definition first. Since e raised to minus modulus u is even function, I'm writing here. Why it is even function, students? Because definition of even function is, I'm writing this definition also here, because in the next lectures I will not tell you this definition again and again. F of minus x is equal to fx. If f of minus x, मतलब function में x को replace करो minus x से, but answer is again positive fx, as it is fx. Answer is again as it is fx, then function is what? Function is even function. Or but if answer is minus fx, then function is odd. A function ही change हो जाता है तो neither even nor odd function. So students, here f of minus x is what? F of x. Then function is what? Even function. So in place of e to the power minus modulus u, so in place of u if I will replace it by minus u, तो mod के अंदर minus u भी plus u ही होगा, when it will be open out of the modulus, so function will remain same. So e to the power minus modulus u is what? Even function. So see students, in the first integration, e to the power minus modulus u cos lambda u, this integrand cos lambda u is what? It is again even function, cos x even होता है, और e raised to minus modulus u is also what? Even function. Because of modulus it is even function. Otherwise students, e raised to minus u is neither even nor odd function. But because of e to the power minus modulus u it is even, and cos is also even, so even it is even function, even into even. So since the integrand is even, so fx अगर मेरा पूरा कंटेंट even है तो I can apply this property. So by this property this integration will become what? 2 से multiply किया, लिमिट 0 to infinity बनाया, e raised to minus modulus u cos lambda u du.